Hey, Fundwise partners. It is 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We are ready to get going on our training, and I am really excited about it. I'd like to wait just a couple minutes so that we can have people log on to the training if they'd like to watch live. We've got a couple people joining right now. Chris Campbell's in the house. We're super excited to share this with you. So we're doing training on our end and learning more and more things that would be effective tools for you, learning from gurus and mentors online that are really good at what they do. And we'd like to share some insights on that, some of the things that we have learned recently, and also as it applies with the Fundwise Partners Program. We'll just relating some of these important principles. Hey, Heather, welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'll just get started in just a minute. I know we'll have more people logging on to the live training as we're talking, but it is 2:01 now, and so we'd like to just start going. So the name of this training is Little Actions with Big Results. For those of you that are newer partners to the program, may not be familiar with how everything works. There's a little bit of a learning curve there. There's multiple programs. Hey, Zach, welcome. Multiple programs to kind of learn and go through and to get a system down. And so what you really need is a system. And we want to give you insight and inspiration on how to just kind of put things together and things to focus on that will return large results. But I have a few principles and strategies, secrets, if you will, to share with you. Hey, Larry. So we still have some people logging in, but we're getting right into the training here. So little actions with big results. What are they? So everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, and you may have questions like, why is it that some people get so much more done? Why are some people so much more productive and they seem to be doing more, and at the same time they seem to be taking vacations and having spare time on the side? Why are some people so much more successful? Why do some people make so much more money? There's so many distractions out there, so much opportunity, but sometimes it can take a lot of time to figure out what are the real opportunities and what are things that are just trying to suck up all of your attention and and your time. So the key here is focus. An extremely important principle. Focus is probably the most important thing that you can do in business to be effective and to grow. Sam Ovens is one of the individuals that we learn from here at Fundwise. We get information from, and he teaches some really good principles. He teaches that business is hard, making money can be hard, but there are better ways to do what you're doing and to be being more effective. Focus is perhaps one of the most important things. A story out there from Warren Buffett, if you know who Warren Buffett is, one of the most wealthiest individuals on the planet, way up there with Bill Gates. So shortly after Warren Buffett met Bill Gates, they got together and they happened to be at Bill Gates' father's house. They were there visiting, and Bill Gates' father asked, so if you could write down one word on a piece of paper that has been the one thing that has helped you to become successful, what would that be? Bill Gates and Warren Buffett looked at each other, and without hesitation, they said, focus. Focusing on your business, and even more specifically in one area, and taking those things that are productive, that return large results, doing those things more, and some of those time wasters and some of those things that just keep you busy but don't get you anywhere, trying to do less of that and figuring out how to perhaps even outsource that or automate it. So here is a visual that Sam Ovens shares. And I love this. It's a short lesson on productivity and probably the only thing you ever really need to know about productivity. You see those two shapes right there. On the left, you have that circle with a whole bunch of short little arrows sticking out on the sides. And then on the right, you've got your circle with the long single arrow pointing up and out. Imagine in your day that you have 10 units. Your day is divided up into 10 units where you're doing some kind of activity, either working or anything at all. Divide that day up into 10 units. If you're working on 10 different things during that day, then you'll make a little bit of progress in 10 different directions. But if you're wanting to reach your end goal, then stack those 10 units on top of each other that take you to your end goal. And that is more really a mindset to have to be productive. Another thing I want to share with you that comes from Sam as well is something called asymmetries. This is what the millionaires and the billionaires focus on doing all the time. And this is also a mindset to have. Keep this in mind as you're working. Hey, Krista, welcome. As you're working with Fundwise Partners and your own jobs and throughout the day, keep this in mind that these two shapes here are two different examples of input and output. So as you can see on the left side on the small triangle, you have input, which means action, the action that you put into things. On the right side, you have output, which is the result. And you can see that the left shape, the small triangle, is quite a bit smaller than the right side, which is output, much larger. And then on the right side of the screen is a shape where the input area is a little bit bigger than the output. So the goal is here to put in a little bit of input, very specific and strategic and effective, to get the maximum amount of output. And that's partly what we keep in mind as we have built the Partners Program. As you've noticed and everyone knows that, yeah, Jeremy, I prefer the left side as well. So the Partner Program has several different things inside of it, several different opportunities that can help you with this. The two-level affiliate program. So the two-level partner program is in this direction of a little bit of input and a lot of output, where you meet with a potential partner who has an existing network with entrepreneurs. You make an introduction one time. That's a small amount of input. And then Fundwise takes that relationship and nurtures it and helps them to continue to bring in deals, while on the output side, you are getting those override commissions for the long term. So a larger amount of output in getting those override commissions. Also with the landing pages and how the business model is set up, where you're finding referrals and you're putting them into a landing page and saving you time on having to collect documents, credit reports, information, taking all that time of weeding out who qualifies and who doesn't. Our goal is to save you the maximum amount of time in first teaching you about where to go, how to find deals, marketing strategies, but then also having a process where you can refer someone to the landing page, and then you move on to the next thing, and you're filling your pipeline while we are working on your deals with email, text, and phone calls to get that output larger on the other side for you. And Jeremy mentions, but few do it. There's the 80-20 rule that he's mentioning right here, which is so true that 20% of your efforts are going to give you 80% of the results, which goes right along with the asymmetries. And it's called asymmetry because you want your shape to be asymmetrical, smaller on the left side and bigger on the right side. Smaller amount of input with a larger amount of output. And so those programs that we are putting in place are to help you with this process. And how do you measure your input and your output? So in order to do this, you need a very clear goal. You need an endpoint, something that you're shooting for so you can measure your progress. Something that Sam talks about is the Polaris star. In olden days, travelers going across the sea and traveling across the land, if they lose their way, if they get disoriented, then they look for the Polaris star because that's the ultimate goal. That's the one thing that you can set your sights to get you in the right direction, to give you the straightest course possible to get to your end goal. So the Polaris star, what is your Polaris star? What is your goal? I think our partners each have different backgrounds and experience and intentions with the Partners Program. So each goal may be a little bit different for you, but make sure that you have that goal, that you are very focused. One of our main goals, the main goal for us is that we can get the partners where we're paying out $1 million a month in commissions to you. It continues to grow. Last month, I believe it was around 70,000. I think it's a little bit more this time around. I'll have to check, but I think we just got in our numbers for this last month. But we would like to, we set that goal and then we work backwards. So how do we get our partners paid $1 million in commissions a month with helping you on your side? We've got great partners that have good ideas and good feedback, and they're learning. So providing all of the education there available to help you be productive, as well as the tools, is our goal. Even helping with marketing. We're launching a new marketing program for social media and helping you build a following with social media accounts and providing content so that your following grows organically and is also partially automated with some tools like STEM Social with Instagram. So some of these programs will help you grow your marketing and will help to automate it, get you a system of marketing so those leads are consistent and they're coming through. You can almost set your watch to it, and the system is just working together. It's a machine. You know how much time and effort you can put in, and you'll know how much you can get out on the other end. And that's really the goal, is to build a machine, an automated process where if you're putting in an hour of time, you're getting 5 hours worth of pay out the back end, or 10 hours. Try to 10x your efforts. You're putting in $1, you're getting out 5, and you do that over and over again. And the asymmetry system is there in place. It's set in stone, and you continue to refine it, make that machine even more efficient as you go along. So part of our efforts has also been to provide courses and information that you can offer to your clients who may not qualify, to make that machine a little more efficient as we go along. And with our developers, adding the tools needed for technology, for tracking, and all of those things to help you grow and be more successful, and continuing this training so that you can be experts in the finance area and know the potential of what the market has in store. Finance is an amazing area. I had no thought about ever going into anything related finance I always love marketing, but then when marketing meets finance, it's a beautiful thing. Those two things together, there's so much opportunity. And so that's what we're sharing with you as well. The opportunity in the finance world of helping entrepreneurs start and grow their businesses, seeing their stories about how they grow and the wonderful opportunities that we can provide, and then getting paid for it and by offering money to others. I just think it's such an amazing opportunity. So that's what we're sharing. That's what we want you to have. We want more and more tools to be in place. But on your side, what you're needing to do is set that goal and work towards it in the straightest line possible. There's always going to be bumps along the way, little turns and curves, but you want that line to be as straight as possible. So with that, with your marketing strategies, you really want to pick just one or two to focus on, to master, and that will save you a lot more time than trying out several things at the same time, trying to learn several different marketing platforms and strategies at the same time. Pick one or two that you feel most comfortable with and master that, and you'll make a lot more progress. You'll make more money focusing in one area than a lot of areas. And that's often what business owners have a little bit backwards. They're seeing so many different areas where they can make money, so they try to work in all those areas. But if you really just work in one area and stay focused, then you'll be so much more successful by mastering that one area. There's just too much out there. It's changing all the time. You've probably seen Facebook change a million times in how everything's set up and where the buttons are and what to access. So even just one platform can take a while to master, so you can even focus even more, not just all of Facebook, but a specific group inside of Facebook, or with Instagram, maybe sponsored posts, and you figure out the process there and the reactions of your target audience and how they qualify or what interests they may have that you can appeal to, all that sort of stuff. And so that's the whole point of this training, is to help you to be more efficient, to have that mindset of doing those small tasks and getting out a lot on the other side. So here's a little bit of inspiration on some of those activities that you can work on. Going through all the training is important because it'll save you time in some of those questions that may be already answered through the training. You already know what that is. You'll have the answers that you need. Not that we don't like answering your questions, but we want you to hit the ground running. And so if there's training that you haven't gone through yet, then go through that so that you won't have to wait on us for different questions to be answered. There's still more training that we're adding as we get your feedback and you have questions of maybe things that we haven't trained on yet or don't have in the training area. Then we'll keep building out instruction and training on that. And I know that sometimes it can take a little bit of time to find the answers. So go ahead and ask us, and maybe there's things that you went through and you forgot where that is. No problem. That's what the Facebook group is for, and everyone is helping each other, which is awesome, answering each other's questions. And we try to get through those questions as thoroughly and as much as possible, but sometimes we'll miss a few things just because things are quite busy. But we're all in this together. We're a community. Fundwise Partners is getting to be a very exciting place. Also on this list is networking. Networking opens doors and opportunities at different local events, and not just finding people that are looking for funding, but finding others that may have existing networks or email lists. Networking has been one of the best tools, as I think back for me, that has opened doors and opportunities. If it wasn't for networking, Fundwise wouldn't exist. So I know the importance of networking. Also, learn how to bring on partners with existing networks, which is what we already mentioned. That can be really efficient and effective for you. I think one of the best stories that we know of so far with partners is a partner that just knew of a large organization and made the introduction one time and was pretty much done and is making an amazing amount of money each year without having to do anything at all. It's a $250,000 and probably more than that this year. So there's a lot of opportunity for those same scenarios. And I wouldn't just look for only that for those really big partners and only shoot for the huge win-wins. Do look for those goals, think big, but along the way, you'll also be successful with your end goal. Say it's making a 7-figure income through the Fundwise Partners Program. As you work towards that and you think out of the box and we help provide new tools, then along the way, you're going to learn an amazing amount of things that will help you get there. Get a marketing system down that produces leads consistently. This is very important. So you don't have to, after finding someone that wants funding, spending a lot of time just searching for someone who's wanting to get funding, and then they go through and then they get funding, and then you have to go around and look in a different place and figure out how to find someone else. You'll want to get a system down that can produce those leads consistently. Also, get efficient with your leads, and this is what we're working on helping you do on your side. We have things in place to streamline our systems even more, so it's a lot easier for clients to get a credit report on their own. And so you'll have more and more people that are just going through, and we'll be more efficient on our side as well as more people are getting credit reports on their own. Excuse me. So getting efficient with your leads also has a lot to do with us, with your landing pages and even email marketing, as well as whole entire marketing and lead generation programs that we are working on to provide for you. So I hope this training has been helpful for you. We have a few people on here and a couple questions, so thank you for those comments. I'll have this video will be up in the Facebook group. I'll also put it in the training area on the back end if you'd like to reference it later on. But that is our training for the week, being productive, small things turning into big things. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a great week. We'll have our Q&A session once again Monday morning at 9 o'clock, and our trainings are 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So everyone enjoy your week, and I'm sure we'll be chatting with you through the Facebook group. I think we might have a couple of questions in here. Chris, thanks for your comment. You've been reverse engineering my goals for Fundwise Business. So thank you everyone for coming. Let me see, there's a question here. If a funded client is offered other services over time and we continue to earn commissions on clients, what is a funded client worth residually over time, say 5 years? So far, one client could be worth $6,000 or $7,000. Over 5 years, who knows yet, as we've put in new programs, and Fundwise hasn't even been around for 5 years, so we don't know, but it'll increase as we go along. So Chris was asking, what's the value, lifetime value of a customer potentially, say over 5 years? Yeah, so we'll find out. When we first started Fundwise, it was maybe just $1,000 or so, because we really just had one main program, which was the credit lines. But now we have business funding, so business term loans, a lot of options for that, which complements our core product. and then also the courses in corporate credit and entity creation and 720 FICO. So as we continue, we'll be adding more programs, even a tax program that we will have available as we figure out some of those loopholes and the system for that. So what we have to do on our end is when there's a program that's going to be beneficial for you and lucrative, we have to figure out first how effective is it. We test it, and then we figure out the process to streamline that the best way and the best place in the sales process to put that so that it's easier for you to provide those services. So eventually down the road, say a client goes through funding, they go through credit lines, they go through the business term loans, they get a tax product to help their business be efficient and even write off the fees of funding that they paid and interest. Then say they become a partner and they bring on a lot of funding deals because of their network. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, one client could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars because they turned into a large partner bringing through deals consistently. So it's kind of all over the place. There's not a specific answer for that. It's anywhere from a few $100s to thousands and thousands of dollars that a client could be worth for you. We also love hearing those success stories. We have a filmmaker going out, a videographer, I should say, to get the right term, that's going out to interview one of our clients who's just here locally, who went to every bank and credit union in the valley and was turned down because he needed money to get his restaurant up and going. We were able to get him a good amount of money. It was over $120,000, I believe, and with the credit lines, he was able to start that business just locally here in the valley, and it's actually doing really well. It's quite busy, and things are just going great for him. So we love those kinds of stories, being able to help our clients when they couldn't find help elsewhere. His restaurant is called Teriyaki Madness, and it's just right here in Utah. You could even look that up online, but we'll have a testimonial video from him coming out in a little bit. So you could use that as a success story to share with others. We have a couple other testimonials that we'll be doing in shooting those videos that are a little further away from where we're at. I think one is in Florida. One was in Puerto Rico, of all places. So we continue to see those success stories, which get us really excited, and we'll share those with you, and we'd love to hear your success stories as well. So thanks everyone for coming to the training, and have a great week.